Okay, today, April, and it's April 4th, and it's only 10.4 degrees centigrade. But I want to sow some mini pop seeds, and it tells me that really the temperature should be about 15 degrees centigrade. But there is a way around it. If, like me, you don't own a glass house, nor a polytunnel, and you have extremely limited space, but you want to get your seedlings germinating as quickly as possible, and possibly you live like I do in the Midlands or a bit further north, you can gain extra time despite the fact that you don't have that equipment by using this method. Firstly, you will need to buy some of these, and they are basically just tubs. But when you buy them, you're going to have to drill holes underneath. As you can see, I've made them as leaky as a sieve. Okay? To drill them safely, you will need, of course, a pair of safety glasses. Don't ever take a chance using a drill without using safety glasses. And I just use an ordinary craft drill, like a sort of a Dremel drill. You can see it there on the corner there. And basically drill through. You'll probably also need a little pair of mini pliers to get rid of all the little plastic that sticks itself to the end of the drill. So once they're drilled, your tubs are ready. Obviously get yourself some decent compost. I'm going to put Miracle-Gro in mine because it's enriched and has some plant food. But because mini pops are very hungry, you will also need a bit of plant food as well for when they germinate. They're extremely hungry crop. Why grow sweet corn mini pops, otherwise known as baby cob? Well, as you can see from the packet here, they can be eaten raw or cooked and used in things like stir fries. The other point about them is they will not require to be wind pollinated, so you don't have to plant them out in squares. You can just plant them along on a border. You can plant them along in a line. So basically, the pollination will not be a problem as it is with sweet corn itself. And also, you can pick them just before the silks are ready. And on my guide here for the seeds, it says you can harvest them from July onwards, July, August and September. Okay, and once the seedlings are successful from germination, you can plant them. I've got them here, you can be planted 8 inches apart. So again, they're planted closer than sweet corn itself. And you will find, as I did when I planted them last year, that you should get cropping over a period of time from each plant. Mine carried on cropping right through September and even the beginning of October. I'm going to be sowing 2 varieties of sweet corn mini pops. There's Unwins. Okay, they say you can sow from March till May, harvest from July till September. These ones have been treated with a special compound called Thuram to aid germination. Okay, the other variety I'm going to sow are Johnson's, and they claim at the back of theirs that they are not genetically modified. Okay, so that might be an issue with some of you about GM crops, obviously. So, the Johnsons first. I've got enough here. There's about a dozen or so here, and that should be okay for this tub here I've got. And I'd say 3/4 filled it with a decent Miracle-Gro compost, and they need to be planted at a depth about 1.5 centimetres. Now, 2.5 centimetres is an inch, so it's less than an inch, just over half an inch deep. Okay, so that's the spacings that I'm going to have. So I'm going to use my dibber here, and it's got a little calibration on it, as you can see there. So you can just read off the scale from your dibber. It's my Charlie Dimmock one. Crikey. And I can get the depth gauge from this for the correct planting, as you can see, using the scale, which goes up to 10. And there you go. Of course, when you do this, you can make your holes first. I've done this first to show you more easily how I space the seeds. So I'm going to pop each little mini pop into their little hole, 1.5 centimetres deep. Make sure they're in. Okay. There we go. Not to be seen again until they germinate, hopefully. Right, they've already popped themselves in. Going along the line. So I've spaced these out. Maybe not all of them will germinate, but they do need to be spaced out and planted singly, it says, for mini pots. The little yellow things you can see are the beads in the Miracle Grow. It's got these little micro beads. It says it's a season-long feed. It's called Smart Release Continuous Feeding, it says on their package. My compost at the moment is quite damp. Bit of rain's got in, so I don't need to water this anymore. If yours is dry, just sprinkle some water on top. And like I say, make sure you've got your plant food handy, because when the seedlings come up, they are very hungry. Mini pops and sweet corn are a very hungry crop. Don't think that just by putting a little bit of fertiliser on you're going to get much. They do need feeding. Okay, so I've got my label. It just says Johnson's Mini Pop, 4th of April 2018. I've added a little bit more water to them. Of course, you can soak these sweet corn mini pops in water overnight before you plant them. I haven't with mine, but there's plenty of moisture around in this soil. I shouldn't think there'd be a problem germinating. Right, now for the next bit. This is my method that I use. I used it last year. So you get, this is basically just plastic. I get this because I have guinea pigs and I have wood shaving. I use the plastic, and this is how I get around the fact that I don't have a glass house or a grow tunnel. Basically take the plastic sheeting and cut it in half crossways, right? Once you've cut it, then you've got your mini cover. That's a greenhouse cover for this. It immediately just goes over the top, and you tuck it under the top to stop any frost getting in. And I'll leave this outside. Okay? If it's going to get very, very cold, I can always pop it back into the kitchen just overnight and then put it back out over the daytime. And this way, it'll germinate a lot faster. You can make a couple of holes inside this to let your gas exchange, because obviously once the seeds start germinating, they'll be using up carbon dioxide and making oxygen. That's photosynthesis, of course. And you want to be able to get your plant food in and any watering. So don't overwater, but don't let them dry out. This method I used very successfully last year. Didn't see anyone else using it around, so it's my method and it seems to work. So I thought I'd pass that tip on to you, especially to all of you out there who don't have the nice equipment, because I don't. I haven't got a glass house and I haven't got a grow tunnel, but I'm still able to grow things on my plot. Okay, so this is the finished article. You've got your plant tub. Remember, as I say, wrap the plastic right underneath it, tuck it right underneath. Okay, once your seedlings have sprouted, a couple of weeks' time, if they're starting to touch the plastic, then of course just get yourself some canes or any handy sticks from the garden and break them up. I break them over my knee, of course. The safest way is probably to use a proper tool, isn't it? A proper little saw. Be careful, watch your fingers, etc. And basically you could just make some sticks inside it and poke some sticks inside to make your own sort of tent space inside. This way you can grow all sorts of seedlings early. So the idea for me was to beat the seasons to make my own mini polytunnel stroke greenhouse effect, but have it all at home, because I just don't have the space at home and I haven't got the equipment on the allotment. But I'd still like to grow what everyone else does, but I don't see why the fact that I haven't got all this expensive equipment should hold me back. So the seeds I'm sowing at the allotment this year have all been put into this Wilco Ziploc bag, and as you can see, whatever's been put onto the clipboard, and this is a hell of a lot organised for me. It's a clipboard. It's even got a little pocket. You probably might not be able to see that on the side there, making me feel almost important. And inside here, as I say, the seeds and the planting time organised. As promised at the end of my last video, I'm going to do some shout-outs. Firstly, Carrie Turner, who's in the USA. He has varied interests, including gardening. Check out his channel. The next one, the channel is called The Novice Gardener. That's Louise. And she's doing a 90-day garden challenge in aid of action for pulmonary fibrosis. Check out her channel. The next one is Dave's Allotment Cabin. He does vegetables and flowers. Check out his channel. The next one is Horti Hugo, spelled H-O-R-T-I, Hugo, separate word. Gardening and Outdoor Endeavours. Check out his channel. Next one is A Little Dirt Never Hurt, and that's a gardening and fun channel. Check out their channel. And you've got Go Grow Your Own. He has his own allotment and he's had it for about 11 months and he charts his progress. And last but not least, Richard Hammond. Now Richard's got a varied channel. He does all sorts of things, including allotment, gardening and cooking, so check him out. And nearly forgot, in my next video I'm going to be doing 2 giveaways, seeing as it's still a bit chilly. 2 unisex allotment hats. They're adult sized and they've been handmade on this loom, as you can see. So there you go. There will be giveaways. The one person will win the pair of them in my next video.